And we're off to the races. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, super stoked for another wonderful evening here with you guys. I have another great artist, another great celeb, another wonderful person who we're going to learn about today. This evening, this person is out of Hollywood, California, following the journey, following the dream. He's done quite a bit of amazing things thus far. This guy is unbelievable. We're joined by him. Missouri-born actor known for his intense screen presence and outsider soul. We're going to hear what that's about because he's got quite a bit to talk about. He's also an author. He's taught before, for the wonderful special education community, which is so near and dear to my life, right? The guy is a martial artist. We'll hear all about that. And I can hardly wait to just jump on this. Guys, without further ado, help me welcome the actor, the one and only DJ Pieper.
What up, man?
Hey,
love the intro.
I
So
was
sick.
about to fail you the first time, so I decided I'm going to hit the reset button and start
Yeah,
over. And I decided to give it another go, and we did it much
yeah,
better. I think I did justice this time.
yeah. It
Uh,
was smooth. It was smooth.
what's happening? How you doing, bro? How's
Man.
Town these days?
Oh man, it's going. It is beautiful. We got my amazing girlfriend designed this little setup for me here. She slaved over it. It was great. Yeah, it's funny, man. You said an author, and I love that because my English
Yeah,
teachers in high school would have been like, "No way, not this guy."
yeah,
And like
I
here
love
we
it.
are. Yeah.
I have the
But
exact same story for you. I thought some people would say, "There's no way, man," and there we are. We prove them wrong. You know what I mean? Um,
absolutely, yeah.
is that James Dean in the back?
It is James Dean. Yeah, it is. Come on
I
now.
love James Dean. How do you connect to James Dean besides the obvious that you're an actor? I can tell you without you telling me.
How's that?
The
I
re-
want you to.
because the unconventional characters and that you go after and you
Mm,
actually flesh out pretty well. The
yeah,
rebel in you.
there it is.
Sometimes
Yeah,
these gritty characters. You can tell us about it, right? There's
yeah,
that in
absolutely.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I,
Yeah, I just think it
that,
was cool. Like I love James Dean in the sense, just like he was an artist,
yeah.
and especially just how like raw he was. He was emotional. He was
Right.
vulnerable. I think that to me is like the heart of acting is that raw, the heart, the vulnerability. Um, and then to be able to do it from stage to film is beautiful. Doing it like we're doing right now, real life, is a beautiful thing. So like
In real
that was a
time.
huge, yeah, that was a huge like thing for me about James Dean. So East of
Now you're
Eden
not a method
was,
actor, right? What is your method to your madness?
yeah, I like to read it.
I
I
like
love
that
it.
one.
Well, the cool thing about it is like you gotta think about it. Some people wake up every morning and they pray and they get their day started that way. That's a method of living. So for
Right.
me, it's just with scripts, it's more of like I read it. This is who I am as a human. How do I expand? The director and I collaborate.
Yeah.
Um, and at the end of the day, it's just being raw, being visceral. And I think Jack Nicholson said it. There's always take two. So if I didn't get it right the first time, we can do it a second time. Um, and so for me, that's my method. I
I
just
love it.
read it and read it and read it and read it again, um, and that's it. Yeah,
I enjoy that. I love it. Everyone has their own way of arriving at the same place, basically.
yeah, yeah,
And but I like that. Continuously reading it until you're able to connect with the character and understand who you are, who the relationship around, right? With the people that you're
yeah,
working with, and let the director direct. And if the writing is good, and which usually is
yeah,
for bigger projects, then if it's good, that means they've done their work and made it kind of that much easier for you, right? It's
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like a team, right? We're a
yeah.
collab, and I like to learn a lot. I like to try to
Mhm.
stay as humble as possible,
Yes,
and
sir.
just because, like, dude, I'm telling you, being from like St. Louis, I had a chip on my shoulder. I grew up like always with a chip on my shoulder, and then
Yeah.
very quickly, once I got older, I was humbled out quick. And then like even with martial arts, right? Like getting punched in the face made me shut up real fast. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo,
What was that like? Tell me. Did
yeah,
you grew up tough because you're well, I mean, you're from a Sicilian family, right?
Yeah. My
So
mom's side's Sicilian. Yeah, they're wild. I love them
I was
so
going to
much.
say, that's good, man. That it's great because true to your roots, many a
Yeah,
times it helps. Like just to know your rich culture and
yeah.
how prominent a lot of Sicilian actors, man, out there doing it,
Mm,
man.
mm. Yeah, ain't
And
that so?
you take
Yeah,
a lot of them are risk takers. I like that. The ones that I've had here, got a
yeah.
good friend of mine, Jennifer Messina,
Hmm.
Sicilian singer, actress. She has it
Hey,
on. She's
yeah.
tough, man. Got
We need
grit. Love it.
we all need to hang out. I'm saying we just need to have dinner together, you know?
Let's hang out.
Let's do it. But yeah, like growing up with you said something that was really cool. It was the richness in us. Like we didn't have no money. Like we were very I would just I ain't gonna say poor in the sense we were living on the streets, but like we didn't just grew up, um, lower middle class, we'll say it like that,
Hmm.
and but we were really rich together. Like we loved each other. I remember like when it was like storms outside and the lights would go out, we would light candles, play board games together. Um, just things like that. We were real tight knit. We watched movies a lot of the times. And I think that helped me be me, and I took that anywhere I went. And so like going in for these risks and doing that, at the end of the day, I knew that I was loved. I knew that I had great people around me. I had real people who would check me real quick, um, yeah, dude, yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie about that at all. I have a buddy call me up and be like, "I saw that last podcast you did. Really? Did it happen like that?" I go, "Oh no." I'm like, "Yeah, I have friends, and they're real."
Tom, you got to
And s
polish it a little. It's Hollywood, dude. You gotta.
yeah, I'm like, it kind of got scrambled in here, it got mixed in with this script, and you just kind of stuff
I
like
love it,
that,
dude.
man. Yeah,
So
but
you did Star People and Knockoff for
yeah,
Disney. We're gonna get around to talking about that early on, but
for
let's
sure.
talk about the nucleus in your family, your household. Are you Sicilian on both sides, by the way, or is it just your mom? You said your mom only.
Just my mom's side. Yeah,
Okay, what about your pop?
my pops is black. He's from like his family's from Africa. I want to say Ivory Coast and some in Nigeria. Somewhere mixed in there is my heritage.
Love
Um,
it.
yeah, my great grandma came from Sicily, and so right off the boat off there into right to St. Louis. So yeah, man, that's the
Bro,
nucleus.
it's so great because the riches on both ends. I mean, just think about it. It the depth of the characters that you can play. And the
Yeah,
funny thing is you play it really well because you always opt to go with grittier ones. You're up for these tough roles and make you look like a mobster, a
yeah,
gangbanger. But
yeah,
it's funny because when I started talking to you, you're nothing like it, which is great. It means you've done your homework correctly.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
you're quite it's fantastic. That's what art is about. You talk to someone, and then it's like unless you're Danny Trejo who plays Danny Trejo,
yeah,
I mean he can play
yeah.
actor, different roles, but he's
Yeah,
that dude, in the gang
that's
all
that
his
guy.
life because that's what he was. That's who he was.
Yeah,
But I noticed that conversely in this case, you're not. You're just a good dude at school, all about the
yeah,
school and whatnot. And
mhm,
then it wasn't your life. Let's just say if it were your life, it were your life. But
yeah,
so it I find that that's really cool when you take on those roles because there's one where you have these tats, and up in here,
yeah,
yeah, this guy looks
yeah.
so hardcore. Yeah,
They're real. They're real.
yeah.
My tattoos are all real,
Oh,
and
are you serious?
yeah, all those are real. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's even cool. Yeah, the
That's even
yeah,
better.
yeah.
Okay. But
It's
was
like
there and you're welcome to are you like is this like method because or did you just like tattoos because you don't come across a dude that likes tattoos? And listen,
yeah,
that I mean, it's the year 2025.
yeah, yeah.
Anyone wears tattoos, but the ones you have, you weren't ever part of any kind of organization
No,
or
no, no, no,
okay,
no.
never. You just
Mm-mm.
simply like art, and that's where you got these tats, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's like a story.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's art. Yeah, so there's stories. Like, I looked at my body as like this canvas, right? And on one, I have my last name across my chest, right? And then I
Mhm.
have this crown, and it says "Son of a King." Um, and like
Love it.
for me, like, yeah, like Jesus, King, Son, like, I put it all together,
Amen.
and for me, it's just like constant reminders of who
Beautiful.
you are, where I come from. I wrote poems. I've had poems I've written, and I have them tatted on my body. I have stories, proverbs, prayers, like that. Like it was just something that I enjoyed doing, and we did it. And like all my people back in St. Louis, they're all tatted up, and like
I love it.
it's just something we. It was a culture thing, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
yeah, my
Love
like
it.
my mom has a sleeve and like so it's like a normal. My mom
The
and I
normal
went from
occurrence going, hey, you guys go
yeah
to the movies? Nah, mom wants to go get a new fresh tattoo.
for real. Dude, like for my 16th birthday, she took me to go get my first tattoo, and we went together. And she got one, and I got one. I was like, "Oh, dope!" Like
Fantastic.
it was a blown out rib piece. I was like, "Oh," like I
That
failed
is
my
so
driver's
cool.
test, but I got a tattoo. So it was like,
I,
you
I
know,
find your I find that story fascinating. You just
yeah,
become more as we unravel the layers are coming off.
yeah,
It's even more fascinating, man.
I
Didn't know that.
appreciate
That
that.
is really this really neat, dude. Kudos to you.
Hmm.
You're really deep, very profound.
I
The way you
appreciate that.
think, the stuff you write on your Instagram is really
Hmm.
great stuff.
I appreciate
I
that. Thank
really
you.
resonate with it. I just want you to say kudos to you, man. You got a good head on
Thank
your
you.
shoulders. Um, let's talk about we talked about the craft already. Let's talk about your
Hmm.
upbringing. What was
Yeah.
that like? You're in a household. Are you an only son? Are there brothers, sisters, or
Yeah.
what's the
So
deal?
like straight off the bat, it was like it was my mom and I, and then we moved into my grandma's house, who was there for my mom, me, my grandma, my aunt, and then her two kids. So there were six of us in this like three-bedroom house in Missouri. So I felt like I grew up with brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like I had that. And then we always had cousins coming over, and it was grandma's house, so everybody's over at grandma's house. So I grew up until I was like about 3, 4 years old. Then I got diabetes at 4 years old, type 1.
That's right.
And
I did
then,
read that somewhere.
yeah, yeah, it was wild. And then, like, my mom and I got this apartment, and then that's when it was just her and I. Um, so I grew up like that. I grew up with playing sports like soccer. Immediately we went. My whole family played soccer. That's my cousin Chrissy. She was on the USA national women's team, and then she like tore her ACL. That was crazy. I remember like I was
Oh
like, oh,
dear.
dude, she's gonna be it. And then like, yeah,
You had
yeah.
big expectations, lofty expectations for her, and then at some point it's like, oh yeah, you can go to the back seat of the car.
Dude, I was like, oh
That's
no,
terrible. It sucks when that
yeah,
happens, man. You blow something out, it's done, bro. You blow out your back or you throw out your back or
yeah,
anything, and you're
yeah,
done. You're done, so
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
What would you say would be your earliest memory or recollection of you performing, though? That's what I'm curious about.
Oh yeah, yeah. About like acting or just in general performing.
Yeah, when you were a kid.
I didn't start acting or anything until I was like 23, 24. I had like I wanted to be a soccer player, a MMA fighter, or in a rock band. Honestly, I wanted to be in a rock band. That was my biggest like,
What's your favorite rock
yes,
band?
The Doors. Yeah,
The Doors of Perception.
the Door. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah. Aldous Huxley. Let's go.
That's where they got the
Um,
name from,
I
right? Doors
know.
of
I had that
Perception, the
book.
book.
Yeah,
Huxley, or
yeah.
what was the name of that writer, the author?
Aldous
Yeah.
Huxley. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so, like, I just The Doors are my favorite band. I mean, granted, like, where I'm at now, 20 minutes from Santa
Look at you,
Monica.
Jim Morrison.
Yeah, I have his books on my night like, staying
No,
over there,
you're
and
you're a poet, just like him. He
yeah,
was a
yeah,
poet.
absolutely. Yeah, so, like, I think about that in the sense of he went to film school, right? And then, obviously, his life's his
Mhm.
life, but, like, you try to go for one thing, and then you end up in another thing. Like, I love rock music, I love singing, I love writing, but I'm an actor. Like I went into the craft of acting because when I was in St. Louis, we would jam, but like it was hip hop. It was Nelly. It was, Chingy. It was not the Doors.
Kinky, I love
Like
it.
yeah,
Took
like
it
that
old
was
school.
yeah, absolutely. That was
Mhm.
big in St. Louis when I was growing up. So therefore, I never found my people of rock that I could
Never
mesh
found
with.
your tribe.
Dude, but I did in acting. Like I just started going. So my first time performing was oh, dude, you're gonna love this story.
Tell me.
I did this audition at Rogue Theater. It was in Alton, Illinois. I used to take the ferry across the river to these rehearsals, and it was on top of this coffee shop, and these dudes were, it was my first time ever doing an audition. I was nervous. I was sitting in the parking lot, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm good, bro. Like, I'll just go back home. I'm not doing this. Like, this is, I'm good, you know? And I just was like, man, it's like an hour away from my house. And I ended up just going up and just did this monologue. And they were like, we love it. I go, whoo, sweet. And then that was it. It was my first time on um, stage, is theater. Like, they entered me in first, not film. Like,
Right.
there wasn't a lot of film in St. Louis, and so
Okay.
theater was just my bread and butter. And that's what I did. I went every single night to rehearsals, and I loved it. I was a substitute teacher as well at that time, so I could just kind of do my own thing. And that's where I found a home, was the stage. Like, no one could tell me cut. I just was like out there doing my thing, and then you can tell me later if I messed up, you know?
Right, right. That's the beauty of
Yeah,
acting on stage. You're right. When you're on the
yeah,
board as a word, you're on there and stuff, and each time it's done differently. That's
yeah,
the beauty.
absolutely.
It's magic each time you perform.
Yeah, that's
You
why I like
perform it
Brando.
differently. Huh?
Yeah, Brando was like, I just would read about his stuff and like how he was on stage, and like that's what it was. You become alive on stage, and you just do it differently. How you feel in the moment. That's why I love Denzel Washington so much. And when he does stage, I was like, oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
So things
He's
like
the real
that.
one, dude. He's the real one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for real. I can't wait to work with him one day. It's gonna happen.
There you go. That's the
Yeah.
person. That was going to be one of my questions about the collaborations, and I think we just answered that one.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Denzel Washington by far is an anointed godly man who is gifted in more than one ways, and how he is able to tell a story
mm-hmm.
and allow himself to become that character for that
Yeah.
moment
Like the
is
Book of
beyond me.
Eli. Like
Yeah,
Book of Eli for me was so, it was like, it was, whoo. Come on,
it's
man.
next level.
Next level. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
But Marty
Um.
Scorsese is another one, man. That's like director
Yeah.
wise is Marty. Yeah, like that Sicilian. Like,
That's
come on, I'm a
right.
young Sicilian. Like, use me, man. And it's like we'll be in that moment. That's just yeah. It was just Raging Bull was one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my life. So
Dude, yeah, he shows he shows the nuances. He shows range because many of movies that he does now, De Niro is more like De Niro.
yeah,
It's Robert De Niro. You just know it's him.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that movie is a complete. It's its own film, and it was like his acting was at his optimal point. Like, it was at where it needed to be. Like, it shows the range he can play. It's
yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
Great
it's
film.
beautiful.
Good
Yeah,
job. Um,
yeah,
we just lost Diane Keaton just yesterday,
yeah.
and you know,
I heard.
a lot of people. There were obviously an outpour of different folks, sharing stories and bits and honoring this person's legend.
Mm-hmm.
They left a
Mm-hmm.
big old hole in in cinema.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of the things I liked about her that was said was she was very eccentric.
Mm,
She was very she was different in that she was herself. What you saw is what you got.
mm.
And I love that because I think in many respects, she decided she was going to be somewhat of a rebel herself, and versus like a lot of people that are like stuffy, and
Yeah,
she was apparently very down to earth and very good actress as well. Like, a lot of her work, The Godfathers, right,
yeah.
is
Absolutely.
speaking of. um you
Yeah,
know so it was a good stuff. And yeah,
yeah.
it's terrible, man, when you see people that really that can change cinema in one way. She was Oscar winner too, huh? She won an Oscar, like a few Oscars, huh?
Yeah, just it's you, like you lost a friend. You know, for me it would
Yeah,
be like I lost an older parent, a grandparent. Like
yeah.
I talked to my grandma this morning, and she goes, DJ, did you hear about that? I was like, Grandma, I did. And she was like, ah, and she just went on. And then, like, she told me about, I think it's the power of like cinema, is like she told me about movies that she went and saw with her in it. And so I got to share those moments with my grandma this morning.
There you go.
And I was like, like bringing it full circle is at the end of the day, it's
Right.
about family,
Mhm.
communicating and love. And I was like, wow, I got to share memories about Diane Keaton with my grandma, and I was like, that's pretty cool. That's a cool moment.
You called yourself blue collar grit with outsider soul. What
Yeah,
exactly do you mean by that? And
yeah,
yeah, how would
yeah.
you define each part of it?
Yeah. I think just the blue collar is just like I work. I'm a normal dude. I work. I'm from Missouri. I done construction. I've taught in schools. I've
Mhm.
worked on farms. I've worked at Harley. I've just worked and just make a paycheck, And with the outsider soul, it's just more of like I feel like here's the everybody expects this image. You said it like being unique, right? Like everybody has this. I'm gonna fit into this box. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna fit in this versus like I'm just gonna be me, and if it keeps me on the outside, that's fine. Like I don't want to, gain the world and lose who I am. Like it doesn't make any sense. And coming from Missouri, living in LA, it's very like, oh, I feel that. I feel that I feel like I'm from Missouri. I can feel
Love
that I'm not a part of culture. And I'm like, that's cool. Like it keeps me
it.
unique. It keeps me unique then, man. Um,
I
and I'm
love it.
very grounded in like who I am, and where I come from. And
Yeah.
so for me, yeah, yeah, I'm not in the mix. We'll say it like that. I'm not in the mix
Yeah.
in that sense. I just want to be in the mix with the art, you know? Um,
Right.
yeah, yeah. That's kind of what
I
that
love it.
meant.
I love
Yeah.
it because you just finished quoting Bible, biblical scripture of what does it profit the man to win the whole world but lose his soul?
Right.
That was deep.
Right.
That was deep. I love it.
It's empty. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like you're this full vessel. It's the way I look at it. Hit me
Mm,
as a kind of guy that doesn't take things on face value,
mm.
doesn't take no for an answer, but you always seem to find a way. Where there's a way, where there's no will, there's a way. Where there's no way, you pry your way.
Yeah.
I guess a good way. See, it's all this coffee I'm having. I had a side of
Yeah, go.
coffee.
Yeah, for real.
Um,
I love it. I love it. That's hilarious. I
um,
pry my way. Yeah, my girlfriend would love
yeah,
that.
I think it's interesting. So what what kind of characters would you like to flesh out next? You
Oh
know,
man, I'm gonna give you the best answer. My grandpa said to me, "DJ, listen to this. Who cares? Get a job, get a paycheck." Like that is his. So my mindset when I go into acting things is like, yeah, which one's paying me? Let's go. I'm gonna be me. And I think Tom Cruise said it once. He goes, "Any role I took, I knew it was gonna be great because I'm in it." I said, I feel the same way. Anything that I'm given, like I'm gonna eat it. Let's go. So I would have a vision of like, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that.
right?
But at the end of the day, no, I just want to work with a great team
Stay
and
relevant
people.
too. Just
Yeah, like people sitting in the theater and like watching, cinema, watching me on theater, like in a place. And I was like, that's what I want to go do. I want to go buy tickets with my friends and buy out theaters and then like sit and watch, movies that we're in because they're dope. And
yeah,
yeah, like I want to watch something. I want to be in something that I want to watch. Um,
good. I love that.
yeah, yeah. So whatever that is, that's what I want to do.
John Claude Van Damme, obviously he's up there in age. If they created a new blood sport,
Oh,
would you be
dude.
up to the task?
Absolutely,
Wouldn't
absolutely.
that
Let's
be
go.
grand,
He could
dude?
be
I
he
mean,
could be my coach. Yeah.
somehow
Yeah.
he has to do a cameo, and it's definitely going to be a coach
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I'll let him coach and then he can like slap me or something and then we'll be good. Like, yeah, I'll be goaded in.
You're like, dude, that was it, man. That was
Yeah.
baptized.
Oh man.
So growing up with what are some of the challenges with folks growing up with? I'm curious with type 1 diabetes, and how has that ever gotten in the way or deterred you from doing anything physical?
No, not yet. You know, God willing. But at the end of the day, the challenge for me, the challenge was when I got older. Like
Right,
my mom took care of it when I was a kid, right? And then I would have to go to the nurse, get a snack, go play. I didn't really understand that I had diabetes. I just knew I had to take shots. And
right.
then I got older. Once I hit high school, man, and I started to go to parties and went out. Whew, I still acted like I didn't have diabetes. I would like skip insulin shots. I would drink, and then like drink till I pass out. And then my buddy Luke, man, love this dude. We're still friends to this day. I've known him since I was like in fifth grade. And I mean, his dad's like a firefighter, and he's like all like he's a firefighter now too. So he would like I'd be passed out, and he would like give me insulin, and he would know how much to do. And then like the next day, like, dude, what are you
Wow.
doing? And I was like, whew. That's what like I had real homies and real friends.
It's the real
And
ones, bro. Yeah.
he's a real one for sure. And so like I acted like I didn't have it. So I probably went through this huge identity crisis, being biracial, living in Missouri, and then having type 1 diabetes, and then all these things. And I had a bunch of anger inside. And then
Yeah.
once I hit like 24, 25, I moved to Arizona, and then I started taking care of myself. I started eating better. I started figuring out having type 1 diabetes is like a big science experiment. Some
Hmm.
days it's like this, some days it's like this, some days it's like this, and it's like a one of those. And so even now to this day, like I have a doctor back in Missouri that I FaceTime and we talk, and I have to put in that time for that now since I'm older, like I'm getting older, and I
Yeah.
want to be able to do this for as long as I possibly can. And so therefore I just have to think about it. Like I was always a physical person, so it never like deterred me that way. Um, but like now it's like I have to think, I have to follow math and science, and then do it that way on paper. And so I was like, wow, man, I really have to be different. I have to literally think differently now. Um, and that's all it is just a perspective change and going a different way. And it's something new. So like sometimes I have anxiety about it. I'm like, why am I freaking out? Oh, it's because it's new. Okay, cool. And
Right.
I just like I checked myself real quick,
Right.
and I'm like, all right, God, like I gotta just trust you in this. I'm good. You've given me the tools, the medicine, the people, put it into action. I'll go. Um, and
Love it.
like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't like act like I'm okay. Like, oh no, I'm good. Like, I'm like, no, I'm gonna have faith. I gotta have faith in this. I'm like, let's do it. Um, and so that's kind of where I'm at right now in life with with my diabetes. So yeah,
I
it's a
want.
lifelong
Yeah.
journey.
I have friends that have diabetes also. I
Mm,
just wanted to ask you, so for the viewerships, there's probably people that might have questions about it, or you know,
yeah,
how would it
absolutely.
be
Yeah.
like? So that's like a superpower to you, bro. Honestly,
Mm, I
it
appreciate
is a
that. Thank you.
superpower. And as a result, you have a lot of you're not apathetic to the world. You're more you have sympathy and empathy for those that
Hmm.
might have certain challenges that might be different,
Absolutely.
as it were. Like, let's talk about, speaking of differences. I know you mentioned in addition to all the hats that you wear, you also worked as a physical education for an adaptive PE for folks with special needs. What was that like?
Yeah.
Tell me, how did you fall into that?
Yeah, absolutely. So after like remember way back with the theater, I was doing subbing,
Mm,
then I landed a full-time job in Missouri as like a para. So I was a special ed aide, and it was more like they welcomed me in, right? I didn't have to like go to college. I went to a 2-year college.
mm,
Um, didn't work. Like I just wasn't. That was it. I got an associate's, and I was not moving forward with anything else. I was like, I'm done, dude. Um, and so I just worked as that, and they welcomed me in, and I loved it. I loved it. They were like the kids were so nice, the teachers were so nice.
yeah,
It
they are.
it made me realize this life is so much more than about myself. And they didn't care that I wanted to be an actor. They didn't care about my sports. They didn't care about anything. We were here at school every single day, and then that transferred. I love PE. I loved being an aide, but I was like, man, these kids like need to move, bro. Like they need to get up, they can walk, they can do stuff. Like let's go.
Mhm.
Like even if you are in a wheelchair, we can play catch, we can do things. If not, we can.
Sure.
So I learned like what people's limits were, and I met them where they were at, and I,
Beautiful.
I just was my that was it, and then that landed to a full time job as a PE teacher, and the school was amazing, bro. Like they allowed me to they literally said to me, I remember I worked so hard for my first year just teaching middle school, and the they came to me and they sat me down. They're like, hey, we know you're an actor and you've been getting some roles. And I was like, oh no, I'm about to get canned, bro. And they were like, what do you want to do? And I said, I would love to work here as long as I can and then still come back after my films and be a teacher. And
Yes.
they said, good, we'll make it happen. And they let me for like 5 years, 4.5, like going into
Wonderful.
5 years, work my butt off, take my time off when I needed to come back. Like I remember I went to Korea and they were like, cool, see you when you get back. And
That's
we can't wait
phenomenal.
to watch it. So I was like, it was a huge blessing, man. And then
It is a blessing.
yeah, like then I was able to move to Hollywood and now I'm here working
And
and
it
acting.
enriches your experience, right, of life. Like you said, it puts it all together, and you understand that there's way more than what's around you. There's other people that that are much happier, and sometimes they're in they don't know that. Some of them know, and others don't, that they have limited capabilities, but
Yeah,
yet they're still
yeah,
happy where they're at. So
yeah,
it's kind of
yeah,
tell you, when we nag and complain and mope around, we ought to take time and to really, kind of introspectively see where we're at with that, because there are people who truly, truly should be the ones complaining and are not. So
yeah,
puts things in
yeah,
perspective, makes us more grateful, to be grateful, and
yeah,
to be appreciative of what we have, God's given us.
absolutely,
Um,
man. Yeah,
DJ, let me ask you your auditions.
yeah,
What's your audition ritual? What do you have? Do you chant something, or like, how do you prepare for a character even? Let's go with
yeah, absolutely.
a couple of
Uh,
questions there in the mix.
yeah, yeah, yeah. For the audition process, again, man, I look at it, I read it, I do a take, I walk away, I
Good.
go do something else, eat some food, come back, read it, do another take, and then I try it differently. I don't know. Yeah, I just try
Mhm.
things. The whole thing about like being different and standing out. I'm gonna tell you right now, Jim. There is nobody else like me. No one. No one's copied and coded anything from me,
Love it.
and therefore I to anyone else. So that's my. There's the prep. Now getting the role and then working in like day in and day out afterwards. That's a craft, and that's what I've been built for is the craft. And then the audition process is just I read this piece of paper right here differently than every single person. I know I do.
Yes, that's who
I
you
know
are.
I
You're
do.
right. No
Yeah,
two
man.
people are the same in this world. Absolutely. I'm totally in agreement with that. And also, too, the fact that you walk away, that's almost reminds me when I was in college and I would type up a paper, and then you get these brain farts, right? You get stuck in the rut. You're like, what am I going to do? And you walk away, watch something funny. I watch like the Three Stooges or something,
Nice. Yeah.
just to get my mind off of
It
things, or
says
go out
bloop.
for a walk.
Yeah.
And then the guy would go like that with your fingers to
Yeah.
the left. I mean, this is hysterical. Slapstick comedy, man, ever.
It's old
Um,
school.
I love that. Yeah, the self, when they definitely like to take things to the next level. And there was a lot of it was political, but nobody really realized at the time until we got older.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, they're
Yeah.
making fun of Hitler. Oh, they're doing this. Um, so it's important to self-deprecate once in a while, and talk bad about ourselves just for fun, lighthearted, never
Yeah.
harsh words, good words only,
Yeah.
words
That's
that could
right.
tickle you.
It-
So going back to that, I find that it's important to walk away from the script. You're right, because then also it's important to do it various ways. So then you're more malleable when the time comes for them to say, go or action. Then
Yeah.
you're ready to go, and you're not
Yeah.
stuck to one precise way, and then you're more able to what do you call it? Kind of uh,
Flexible.
more
Yeah.
bendable or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Flexible. It's very important. Go ahead.
That's what I said, like being flexible. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like I always
What?
look at it as like the remember the clay and the potter scripture?
Yeah.
Like that's literally what it is. I'm the clay, they're the potter. You do your thing, I'm here. You
Man,
know,
you're full of the scripture, bro. I love that.
I just it's so relevant to my life and acting. It's the same. You know, I can't
So true.
be what it's yeah, it's life. So
So you had an audition for Star People, and you turned down a certain role that initially happened. You felt like
yeah,
instead you wanted to go, you were more right for a different part. What was that whole thing like? And
yeah,
I'm glad
yeah,
you did speak up for yourself.
yeah. No, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, my agent called and she was like, "Hey, you got this." I was like, "Okay, cool." I look at it, I read it over, and I just was like, is there anything else?" I just wanted to ask. I called my acting coach, my mentor, and a good friend of mine, And I called him first because his mom was my agent. And so it was like, it was so cool. It was awesome how it happened. But like, he was like, always do the audition. And then I said, cool. And so I got called and I said, is there any other auditions I could do? And she goes, let me find out. She calls me back and said, yeah, here's these things. And I said, that one, that's it. It's a rock band. Remember how we were going full circle? I was like, yo, this is it. Like, this has got to be the guy, you know? And I said, yeah, I'm in it.
Wow.
I said, I'm in it. And I remember I did the audition and the director told me when we were on set, he goes, we didn't know what we wanted until we saw it. There it is. There you are. Perfect. And I said, thank you. Audition wasn't hard. It was just me as a rock band guy.
You
And
fit
I
like a
said,
glove.
fit like a glove. I wore my Black Sabbath t-shirt, went on set and did my thing. And that, and then like, that was what I did. And it solidified for me two things. One, trust your reps. Having that communication and trust is valuable. And then two, trusting yourself. I just asked. All she could say was no, and then she didn't, and it worked. And it just premiered at the TCL Theater, and it's awesome, dude. It actually just hit New York Times top 5 sci-fi films to stream. So check that out too. Your boy's in it.
Wow. What is it like? Hell yeah. What is it like? Don't worry. I'm gonna walk with you one of these days. I'll treat you to Mal's in Hollywood, and then or somewhere.
Yeah, I live right down the
We'll walk
street.
around and say, yeah, I know him. He's famous.
Yeah, yeah, we'll go together. All
Yeah,
the
I'm down. I'm
Sicilians.
so down. Um, um, I love talking to people that just know where they're going, and understand that this is a numbers game, dude. It's not easy, but yet it's not the easy part. It's the hard part that makes it special. Because the casting, when you're right for the casting, right for the casting, like you said, the
Hmm.
fact of the matter, there aren't no two people that are alike, that are the same. I mean, you
Yeah.
could be like somebody else, but the very fact, like you said, that our fingerprints are different. It's got to
Hmm.
tell you everything. So
Absolutely.
kudos to you. I know you're going far. And let's see. I also
Yeah.
wanted to ask you with regards to real quick, with regards
Yeah.
to you being watch. How did you feel? Like, what is the feeling when you're in there watching yourself on the silver screen? Like you see yourself up there on the screen, and the
Yeah.
people and that reaction. I mean, it's got to
Yeah.
be just the mammoth of a reaction and a feeling,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I was literally thinking like, man, I'm gonna say something tight. No, bro, it's one for me because I've always like when I started doing like acting, I was like, I want to watch myself with my people, my friends, like me in something cool, right? Um, I enjoy it. Like I'm always like, my favorite part's like someone nudged. Oh, that's that guy right down there. I love that. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I want
Have you gotten anybody hit you up yet, or someone say,
from
"Oh, dude, I know you.
Yeah, oh,
I
dude, I
saw
went.
you."
Yeah, 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 absolutely, absolutely. So I was in like this commercial once, and they go, "Yo, you're that guy from." I said, "Mm-hmm." And then someone else said it about Star People because they were like, "Yo, I seen you in." I go, "Yeah, that's me," and I'm cool with that. I like. I was like, "Yeah,
Beautiful.
that is me," and because it's just because not because it's like, "Oh yeah, look at me." It's cool to be like, yeah, I did this work and you saw it too. Like you saw these months of like the preparation from the crew and all the people involved and yeah, hey, hey. It's just like it was a really cool feeling.
That's
Um,
fantastic.
yeah, man,
Let
I enjoy
let
it.
me ask you one last thing before we
Yeah, of
wrap things
course.
up. What did you let's back up a little. You like the Doors? Are you be the front man, or did you pick up any instruments?
No, I mean, I cannot I playing guitar, it's more of like I just strum and whatever
The three
happens
chords?
happens.
Three chords?
Yeah, like just I can't even tell you a chord. I just start doing things. I'm like, that
Yeah.
sounds good, and then this doesn't, you know.
Oh, wow.
And then it's yeah, frontman for sure. Like I just enjoy singing and telling a story, and
Just a
like just
showman, bro.
yeah, I
You're
enjoy
the
that.
real
It
Lizard King.
for
Right?
real. Yeah,
Only real
yeah.
Doors fans know that.
That's right. That's
Um,
right. You can do anything.
you liken birds to sky and fish to water and
Mm,
yourself to life. What does living 1,000 lives in one look
hmm.
like practically in your day to day?
Wow. In my day to day would be. Imagine sitting here talking to you, relating with you, and like wearing your shoes for a couple minutes. That's kind of how I feel. Like I'm talking,
Yeah,
I'm learning something new about you, and you telling me something about yourself. It's really intimate, you know, and I can take that on, and I can feel that. I'm like, wow,
mhm.
okay, we connected on something. Like when I heard that you were teaching special ed, my heart was like, yes, it. We just linked, and I was like, he gets it. You know, there's a part of us that we get together, and that's kind of
That's it.
what I feel with with scripts. You know, it's the same thing as like I want to be able to. Oh, I feel I don't want to judge anything that I do, like any character that I do, because now I'm not doing it justice. Like
Yeah,
you know, and I don't want to do that with anybody. I don't want to judge like that, and I want to connect with you and meet you where you're at. You know, and so
fantastic.
that's how I want to live it in my day to day for sure. Yeah. Like and birds are so natural. They're that's what they do. They're meant to be birds, and fish are meant to be in the water. And like me, I'm meant to be alive and alive
You're
with
a
people.
you're a
Yeah.
mouthpiece for those that don't have one.
Yeah.
You're a storyteller of storytellers.
Mm.
And real quick, your book, before I forget, you're gonna
Yeah.
when I meet up with you, you'll have a copy for me.
Yeah.
In 2 minutes, fashion anti-fashionism is the name of
Yeah.
the book. Where can we find your book?
Yeah. So there's only 40 copies I have, right? And I passed them out to directors and like people all over. I dressed up in an Amazon costume and walked through and dropped these books off to
I
like
saw that on
these.
Instagram.
Oh, dude, it was smooth, bro. So there's only 40 copies, but there's only like 20 left. And so like they're very special, specially made. I write certain things in them. It is if you want a copy, you're gonna have to hit me up on IG. And then,
Okay,
but for you, I got you.
yeah,
You're right here. We're connecting, so I'm going to give you one. And
cool.
I'm making other ones too. So the whole point of it is
Awesome.
you don't need fancy clothes to feel comfortable. I don't need big labels and all these things to be popular. Fit your style. It's style, not fashion. So that's what it's about.
With that, DJ
Yeah.
Pieper, you have been more than you don't understand how insightful you are and what a blessing to know you and to have you as a friend. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming in.
Thank you,
Nothing
Jim.
but love for you.
All right,
And I
brother.
know you're on to greener pastures and wonderful things the Lord's got in store for you. Thank you. Let's
Amen,
do
bro.
this again, okay?
We will, man. I'll see you soon.
You promise?
Peace.
And
Promise.
the
Promise.
IG's at Pieper
Pieper
Acting, right?
acting. That's
Yeah, I
right.
saw
At
how I
Pieper
hit
acting.
that.
Yeah.
All right.
All
And
right,
that's
man. Peep
across
it
the
out
board for is that across the board for everything?
for everything. Yeah.
Okay.
For everything.
My
Peace.
man. It's nice talking to you. God bless,
You too,
bro. Take
brother.
care.
God bless.
That's my show,
Bye.
guys. Almost Famous Radio Podcast with DJ Pieper. Woo, 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 woo. Till next time, guys. Take care.